What's up guys, Matt back again with another video, and this time we're going to be doing my top 10 Dragon Ball figures of 2021. Before we get into the video, of course, please remember to subscribe to the channel, ring that bell so that way you get notified whenever I upload a new video. I upload Dragon Ball review videos every week. Like the video if you enjoy it, and then comment down below at the end of the video your thoughts behind my top 10 and what your top 10 Dragon Ball figures of the year are. So yeah, a lot of you guys have been requesting me to do a top 10 figures for my channel. I know a lot of other Dragon Ball review channels are going to be doing this, and of course I wanted to put my opinions out there because I think a lot of you guys find my opinions to be useful or important. Plus, I think it's a whole lot of fun to talk about, which figures you unboxed this year that really stuck out to you as being the best of the best. I would say about half of this set, maybe the top half, were pretty easy for me to pick out as the best, but some of them were actually pretty difficult for me to decide on who were the best of the best in this year. Quick disclaimer before we actually get into the top 10, as of the recording of this video, I have not gotten the last December Kuji, the Dragon Ball Omnibus with Perfect Cell, Omega Shenron, the Red Shenron, so they will not be included in this list. Instead, they'll probably be included in the 2022 list that I'll be reviewing next year. So sorry I couldn't get it. It's just going to take some time. It's holidays, so I did buy the set, but they're going to take some time to get here. So look forward to that in the future, and those reviews will likely be coming out next month. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel to check those out. But okay, without further ado, here are my top 10 Dragon Ball figures of 2021. Happy holidays, guys. Starting off our list at number 10 is the Maximatic Super Saiyan Blue Evolved Vegeta figure. This guy single-handedly brought me back to Maximatic figures. The amount of detail was really shocking for me, as I was still in an era of cynicism with the Maximatic line after I had a couple of bad experiences. Vegeta won me over in many areas. He's about 8 inches in size, but scaling well with most of my favorite Masterlise figures is a huge feat, as most Crane figures come off as small to Kuji-based figures. I love the dark blue they chose for his hair and gi, and it's definitely the best looking for his blue evolved form. He's got a great amount of shading and detail all around his wonderfully built sculpt, and really only deviates from a perfect rating due to his lack of shading on his backside. Number 9 is another Vegeta figure for me. It's Vegeta from the Saiyan Saga from this year's Dragon Ball EX World Tournament Super Battle. Right off the bat, you know it's rare to get a Masterlise of Vegeta from this point in the story. We usually only saw him as a Crane figure at best, so it was great to see something like this. He's got everything to look for in a figure in regards to size, paint, details, and shading. But he's also got the option to swap his Scouter out for your personal choice to display. They were also able to capture Toriyama's original style for his face, which for me, that's a huge plus. He came from an awesome Kuji set this year, and spoilers, he's not the only one that's on this list. Number 8 has our first Super Master Stars piece figure. It's the Manga Dimensions BWFC Bardock. Every figure released for this competition was an absolute banger. We haven't seen a lot of Bardock outside of Grandista and a couple of smaller figures on bases, so getting something of this detail and size was an absolute treat. I've never been too hot on Super Master Stars figures in the past due to some questionable likenesses and sometimes being a little too big for my liking, but this was the perfect fit to represent Bardock's final stand against Frieza for my Namek Saga shelf. Number 7 is another Vegeta figure, and it's the Back to the Film Masterlise Super Saiyan God Vegeta. I know this set has a lot of QC issues, but Vegeta in his God form is my favorite, and the moment he uses this form against Broly in the film is one of the most memorable for me. They were really able to pull off not only his likeness, but some really cool coloring of his hair and armor. He comes off on the darker side, so it's hard to catch his little details, but I love this figure. Seeing Vegeta with his hand out from this fantastic moment in the film will always stay in my head rent-free, so I'm glad I can look over at my shelf to see him as a figure. Number 6 is another Super Master Stars piece figure, and one that I actually haven't done a full review of on the channel yet. In fact, he was one of the first I posted on my TikTok, which you can find in the description of this video, and one that started some internal encouragement for me to start regularly uploading again on this channel. It's the Manga Dimensions Super Saiyan 4 Goku from the BWFC Super Master Stars Piece competition. This figure was pretty incredible when I opened him up due to the sheer size of it. He's also got such a dynamic pose that just demands your attention no matter where you display him. I'm not always a big fan of huge Goku figures like this, but this is a wonderful piece for my collection. His size, shading, likeness, dynamic pose, it's all great. He deserves to be just scratching the top 5 of this list. Alright, we are entering the top 5 now with the final Super Master Stars Piece BWFC figure. It was the figure I deemed the best Super Master Stars Piece figure. Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Gogeta. This figure was extremely popular and sought after. Even though Super Saiyan 4 Goku won the competition at the BWFC, I personally feel like Gogeta is a much better piece. Not only is it an incredible looking figure from his size, color, shading, and sculpt, but he's replicating the iconic moment from the film when Gogeta fires up his Kamehameha to defeat Broly. I know we get a lot of Gogeta figures nowadays, but it's clear that this is the best of the best in terms of details and dynamics. Number 4 is one I've recently reviewed on the channel. It's the Grandista Gohan. I'm hoping this figure is a sign of what the new year is going to bring us. Between his upcoming figures, appearance, and new role in the superhero movie and this figure, it seems like Banpresto wants to push his character a little more. This figure is everything you want out of Gohan. Great likeness, expert paint even though he's missing some shading on the backside, a good size, and an amazing sculpt. If you haven't grabbed this one yet, I highly recommend him. Number 3 is the best figure in the World Tournament Super Battle and one of my favorite Goku figures. It's the Masterlise Kaloken x3 Son Goku. Man, I know we get a lot of Goku figures, but this one is so different. He captures Toriyama's old style so well in the face, and look at that sculpt! Goku all hulked out like this is something we never get to see in figures or the anime. Plus, this is from the most iconic fight of the series when Goku and Vegeta first fight. His details, paint, and shading are a huge plus for him. But yeah, he's just awesome. It's hard to put into words, but I was just so surprised as to how much I loved him after I got him. He's a must-have. Number 2 is the only King Cluster on this list. We got plenty of them this year, and there were a lot of nice ones, but the legendary Super Saiyan Broly from the Omnibus set this year is clearly special. We've been getting a lot of Super Broly figures over the last couple years, but to be blessed with the Z Broly as a King Cluster, it just felt like a commemorative event. He's huge, of course, as most King Clusters are. The pose they put him in when he's about to fire off a blast against the Sun family is iconic. His likeness is absolutely perfect with his eyes and expression, and I love the way they sculpted his hulking body and painted his hair. This is the best Broly figure out there, and it will take a whole lot to beat him. Before we get to number 1, I'd like to mention some honorable mentions. These are figures I really loved for one reason or another, but they didn't quite make it to the top 10. Here's a quick recap. Masterlise Nappa. King Cluster Super Saiyan Full Power Broly. Masterlise Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Gogeta. Masterlise Super Saiyan Goku for Goku Day. Masterlise Porunga. Masterlise Super Saiyan Gogeta. Dragon Ball Arise King Piccolo. Grandista Manga Dimensions UI Goku. King Cluster Super Saiyan 4 Broly. Masterlise Super Saiyan 4 Xeno Vegeta. Masterlise Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black. Masterlise Super Saiyan 4 Xeno Goku. Alright, I think a lot of you might have guessed who number 1 is at this point. Before we get to him, if you've been enjoying this video, please consider liking and subscribing. It's free, and it would be the best New Year's gift you could give me. Plus, you'll see reviews for all of these guys, plus ones I haven't gotten to yet. Alright, with that, here's my favorite figure of 2021.
俺は弟のように甘くはない。一人残らず根絶やしにしてくれる。
Cooler from the Back to the Film set was instantly desired from collectors all over. He's the first Masterlise extra figure, at least the first with that title. I think after we got Jiren, Banpresto decided we needed a subset in Masterlise figures that needed to be huge. Cooler is definitely that. Big, menacing, and jaw-dropping. His colors were painted perfectly and the shading all over really makes him pop. He looks just like his anime counterpart. He has gloss added for his body parts and is a character we never get figures of. There's a reason that he's selling for hundreds of dollars on eBay. If you weren't able to grab him yet, I'd suggest running after him. He's incredible, and I think he's the start of a beautiful chapter for Dragon Ball figures.